Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet, and we are heading outside to do some outdoor activities. I have a few videos that I've already done about outdoor activities. In fact, I'll put them in a playlist, maybe put them up in the corner for you to go look out or down below in the description box because there are so many ideas you can do. In today's video, I'm going to show you a couple of ideas to get you inspired to get your kids outside and playing. First off, we're making a catapult. Now, I wanted to do this very budget friendly, so most of the things I'm going to show you come from the Dollar Tree. The first thing you're going to need is something to stomp on to catapult your object across your yard. I found these broomsticks over at Dollar Tree, and they actually would work really well. They are rounded, which might make it a little bit more difficult to stay. Over in the craft section, I found these wooden planks that I wish they were a little bit bigger, but I think they're going to suit the purpose, so I grabbed one of those. You can also search for things that you already have around the house and get really creative. Next, I attached a Dixie cup to the end of mine. I just used some tape because it worked really well. You can also use glue and just glue that right on there, and then you're gonna need a ball of some sort. I have these ping pong balls that are gonna work really well. You could also roll up a ball in foil and use that too. You just want it to be light. Then you're gonna need something to put it on. I have these from the Dollar Tree. You might have a block of wood at home. Even a canister of oatmeal would work. Just be creative on this one. Provide lots of options because what this is gonna do is become a STEM activity. A lot of trial and error of where to put your catapult onto your block or your oatmeal canister, plus the force that it takes to stomp on it and to get your object across your yard. We got creative and added a frisbee and trying to land it on the frisbee as a target. You could also use a bucket for this, but all in all, the idea of this is to one, have some fun, but then two, use a lot of physics and figuring out the right amount of speed and where to put your lever onto your object to catapult it across your yard to get it just right. Your younger kids are probably going to really experiment with this and have some fun, while your older kids can probably understand some of the basic concepts of physics to make this work. I wasn't sure if this one was going to work, but it ended up being a lot of fun. In the arts and crafts section, you're definitely going to want to pick up some Velcro. You can also find some of this in the hardware section, and it comes in many different forms. We have squares, strips, and also circles. Then I added this little apron from the craft section. This is an optional thing. It actually made it easy, and it comes in different colors. And then some felt. They had some craft felt in the Dollar Tree in different kinds of packages. If you wanted to get matching colors to make this more of a game, that might be something to consider. So basically, you're going to take your apron, unfold it. This works best for probably younger kids. You're going to see my 10-year-old wearing it. She is kind of on the small side, but it did fit her. These might come in adult. I'm not 100% sure. Alternatively, you can also do this with just a plain t-shirt. Then we'll take the ping pong balls, and we applied a whole bunch of Velcro onto these ping pong balls, just enough to go all the way around so that when you throw it onto the felt, it's actually going to stick. These ping pong balls were actually from a reward system that we had where we put ping pong balls into another bucket. And that's why you see the smiley faces. Next, we're going to put on the felt. I had some from Daiso, which is just like a dollar store, but it's what I had on hand, and so I'm a firm believer, use what you have first. And we're going to attach it just using some safety pins onto the apron. You could probably use some craft glue too, but I just use the safety pins just to be quick and easy, or you can safety pin the felt onto your own t-shirt. I do like the idea of the apron because you can take it off with different children and be really quick about it, and you can make them identical. Next, you put that on and get to playing. We did a few trial runs too, just for target practice, and as you can see, the balls were sticking right on. My kids thought this was hilarious. We tried some variations where we made her move back and forth and trying to get it that way. You could also try it on your back and come up with a couple of different ideas for this game. You could have it on teams, scoring points. You can have how far, you can increase the distance. A lot of variations you can do on this one, and my kids just thought it was hysterical. For a frisbee tic-tac-toe, you're going to need some frisbees, and you can find some in the summer section of the dollar store. I happen to have a whole bunch on hand. I'm giving you some other examples that they have here, like these flying discs. Those could work. These disc golf little circles could also work for this game. Anything that is round. Then we're going to use some jump ropes, and I picked jump ropes because it's what we had a lot of in our house. If you have anything similar or even masking tape, that would work really well too. I'm going to label each one of these with post-it notes. Another option would be to use a Cricut or just a permanent marker if you don't mind using that on your Frisbees. I just wanted to use the Post-its so that it would come off easier. Then we're going to set up our tic-tac-toe board. I had my girls do this. They just use the jump ropes to make a makeshift tic-tac-toe board. And you can use a masking tape. I just had a lot of jump ropes, so that made it really easy to do it that way. And my girls were totally fine with it. Next is using the Frisbees to play tic-tac-toe, which is harder than you would think. So my kids had a really good time trying to figure this out. We did make up some of our own rules, like if it landed in the same spot, you can do it over, or if it landed off the board, you can go grab it and get another chance. So you can make your own rules to do this tic-tac-toe game, but it did make it a little bit extra challenging to an old game that we usually play all the time. Have fun with it, make your own rules, and make it your own. This one was actually really fun. Next up, we're going to do Explore a Square. You're going to need a magnifying glass. You can get these in the office section of the dollar store, or you can get some kid safety ones that are meant to be kind of tossed around and they won't break as easily. I'll put a link down below to one that we have and use. Then you're going to need a square. I have two options for this. You can use a plain piece of paper. You can laminate this. You can cover it in masking tape so that it's a little sturdier. I just cut out a square out of the center of the paper. Another option is to use some masking tape or floor tape. The example here is my daughter's just taking some floor tape that we have and she's cutting it off and making it into a rectangle, but a square will work too, any kind of shape. The idea here is to mask off a section of your yard for exploring to see what's inside there. Now, we don't have a lot of grassy areas in our yard, so my example probably isn't the best, but if you take a magnifying glass and just take a closer look of what's just in that square, you can extend this further and have them log and journal it, draw pictures of what they saw, or do a little bit of writing if you wanted to make it a little bit more educational base. Here it is with the piece of paper, works just the same. And the best part about this is when you're done, you can just pick it up and find another place in the yard and explore that square too. Your kids will have a lot of fun just exploring with the magnifying glass in one little crossed off section, or like I said, you can extend it further into learning and writing about findings and make it more of a science project. Fun prints. This one is with construction paper. Now you can find all kinds of construction paper sets at Dollar Tree. You probably have some already on hand like we did, so just pick some colors, and then you're going to need an object to make your imprint, so to speak, with. So this is covering up and shading that area of the construction paper from the sun, and the rest of the construction paper should be bleached by the end of the day. Now we experimented with these little star erasers and just trying to see if this would work. We did a number. We can also do shapes. You can make some art and some different pictures. Just make sure you hold it down with some rocks, especially if it's windy, so that the paper stays put and doesn't blow away. And then when you're done, you have some pretty cool sun bleached art. There's so much you can do outside. I'm going to put another video up here on screen for you to go check out next. I'll see you over there. Make sure to click subscribe to see more videos like this and give me a thumbs up to show your love.